Here I am at the corner of Connie Street and Ocean Drive in Emerald Isle. So we're beginning our walk south. Probably won't walk very far because it's a little bit too hot for the puppy dogs. But you can see that there are many multi-million-dollar homes that front the ocean right here. And so one can't really get to the ocean without trespassing on private property. I wonder what Woody Guthrie would say about that. There's some new homes going up. Look at the size of that house. My gosh. Must have 10 bedrooms. So I'm starting out documenting this walk. In North Carolina, even though I started out walking from my home in Richmond, Virginia years ago, because I finally decided, finally technology caught up as well, and I finally decided to document it and put it on YouTube, so that people can be, walking with me. Oh, I lost a little puppy dog. Donatello doesn't walk without you holding his leash. He's a strange little dog. He doesn't seem to know what to do. So anyway, I decided to document my walks so that people could walk with me on their treadmill or in their home, anywhere, and follow the walk and have some scenery to look at rather than just staring at a blank wall. I often had wanted this myself. So I started doing this walk years and years ago. Because I'd always wanted to walk across the United States. But, to do that, you kind of, almost need a support person, support van or something. And I knew I would really never have that. And so I just decided one day, I'm just going to do it. And so I walked out of my house and started walking. And I'd wanted to do this since high school, really. And so one day I just decided to walk out of my house. The dogs are actually kind of getting hot already, taken to some shade. So I walked out of my house and I just decided that I would start walking. And I walked until I got tired. The next day I got in my car and drove to where I had stopped the day before and continued doing that. and walking until I got tired. The next day I would drive to the next spot and then walk back. And so I decided that I would do that, keep doing that, hopefully getting eventually to Florida, because I was at that point driving back and forth a lot to Florida to see my parents. And so, from Richmond to Florida was the goal, to walk. And so I've been doing that for years. I'm now 68, so I've gone through times where I had knee surgery, times where I couldn't walk, times where my husband didn't want me to walk alone on the highways. So, and I've tried to find different routes. I've walked different routes. I started out walking east. Well, first I started walking south from Richmond and ended up going 460, 95 to, Route 1 to 460, heading toward Virginia Beach. And, I walked 460 for a while, then I moved over to some smaller roads and finally made it to Virginia Beach, or the Back Bay. And I walked all the way down to North Carolina that way, along the beach finally. And after I got to North Carolina, I walked all the way to Nags Head. Then I decided that I would go inland a little bit. So I followed the latitude across and started walking from Clayton, North Carolina. And so walked down then from Clayton, and then I decided, because the roads were just too busy, I couldn't really do it. I finally decided to go back to the shore again, even though it would be twice as long as going straight south, because the coastline of North Carolina is like a huge V, and which is one reason I decided not to walk along the coastline. But it's just so much more pleasant without the traffic walking on a street like this than it is on a highway. So I'm actually decided again to take up the latitude, and I am in Emerald Isle, North Carolina, and we'll be walking apparently in North Carolina for quite a bit longer than if I had just gone, on a highway straight south, because that would have taken me down to Wilmington, and now I'm quite a bit farther north than Wilmington, and I'll be walking along the coast. And I've decided to do that as much as I can, and then just when I hit major estuaries, to just get in a car and cross those. So that's where I am, Emerald, North Carolina. Started out at Connie Street and Ocean Drive. Gonna walk as far as the little dogs can walk today, and then we'll have to stop. My little dogs are quite old now, so they can't walk too far. Here's the house for sale, in case anyone is interested. I must say, it's a much more pleasant walk than along a highway, although I can't see the ocean. I'm not going to be able to walk much farther, unfortunately, today. We'll have to piece things together for you, because Donatella will get too hot. But my gosh, look at these huge houses. I don't know how they can afford to rent places like this out. I mean, this is the size that they used to be, and now they're all that size. So they're thousands of dollars a week to rent. I don't think anybody lives in these full time. They're just way too massive for that. They're really kind of beach homes, rental properties. I mean, there might be some people that own their own, but most of them are rentals. Here's another one for sale, in case you're interested. It's a little bit older one. I say it must be nice though to have an oceanfront property, and the views on these are spectacular, I'm sure, although they're hidden behind dunes. You can see it goes up quite a bit, but most of them are on stilts, so they have the view. But the dunes also protect them from erosion and from the house falling into the sea, because the ocean is quite close on the Emerald Isle. With sea rise, you never know. Okay, so here we are at another street. It says no outlet. So I guess I'll walk to another street and then walk back with Casa Donatello. See, this is the size of somebody, although it's obviously a rental, but somebody could live in that house. Oh. Pretty little house right there. Okay. So here we're at a street, and we're at a public water access. So let's go look at the ocean for a minute. Okay. Here's what the ocean looks like at Emerald Isle. Hardly a person around. And these are the houses that you saw. This is the back of the houses. Oh, quite a gorgeous view.